Walk down the implement row at any dealer this fall, and you'll count 9 or 10 different names on the paint. Tarter, CountyLine, King Kutter, Land Pride, Woods, Bush Hog, Frontier, Titan. It looks like 9 companies competing for your money. It isn't. That CountyLine rotary cutter at Tractor Supply is a Tarter cutter with a different sticker, and I can prove it with the model number. Tarter calls theirs RBRC602. CountyLine calls theirs RBRC602CL. Same blade, same replacement part number, same Kentucky plant. And that green Frontier box blade sitting behind the John Deere dealership, open the owner's manual. Woods is all over it. By the end of this video, you'll know who actually builds what in the 3-point aisle. Which rebadges are the same steel at a lower price, which ones are thinner steel at the same price, and the 4 things you check with your own 2 hands on the lot to tell them apart in about 90 seconds. One thing first, then I never bring it up again. You just spent $25,000 on a tractor, and now you're going to buy $3,000 of implements in one tired afternoon off nothing but the color. That's where people hand over $800 for 2 gauges thinner and a gearbox with nobody's name on it. Don't do it from memory. The buyer's vault has the whole who builds what map and the inspection sheet you print and carry in your back pocket. $29.99 once, ironandacreage.com, first link below. Buyers fund this channel. That's the entire ad. So, who's actually holding the welder? Start with Tarter, because Tarter is the biggest name most people have never thought about. Family company out of Dunville, Kentucky, Casey County, started in 1945 as Tarter Gate. Today it runs about 1.1 million square feet of production between Kentucky and a plant in Corinne, Utah. In April of 2023, a private equity firm called Platinum Equity bought a majority interest. The Tarter family kept a minority stake. Hold on to that name, Platinum Equity. It comes back in a few minutes and it's the best part of this whole video. Now, Platinum's own description of what they bought says Tarter sells through retail channels and dealer networks, and, their words, not mine, supplies original equipment manufacturers, which is the polite corporate way of saying, we build things that go out the door wearing somebody else's name. That's the CountyLine story. And here's the receipt, because I'm not asking you to take a forum's word for it. Go to any aftermarket blade seller and pull up a 30-inch rotary cutter blade. 1 blade, 1 part number. And the fitment list says it fits the Tarter RC6 and the CountyLine RC6. The CountyLine model number is the Tarter model number with CL stuck on the end. That's not a coincidence. That's a stock keeping unit somebody added 2 letters to. There's a better one. A fella over on Green Tractor Talk bought a box blade at a Tarter dealer, peeled the sticker up out of curiosity. Underneath it, CountyLine, printed right on the tag. He paid $675. The same blade at Tractor Supply was $799. Same steel, $124 difference, and it went the direction nobody expects. But here's where the internet gets it wrong, and I'd rather correct myself on camera than let you carry a bad rule to the lot. You'll read everywhere that CountyLine is Tarter. It isn't. Not all of it. Not always. CountyLine is a rotating private label, same way Craftsman was for Sears. Over the years, the vendor list has included Tarter, King Kutter out of Alabama, Balin Country, Darrell Harp Enterprises, and Chinese factories. Folks have opened CountyLine tillers and found King Kutter serial numbers and King Kutter's phone number on the sticker. Others found Balin instruction sheets. Others found Made in China stamped on the box. And that tidy rule you've heard, Tarter east of the Mississippi, King Kutter west, that's folklore. It doesn't hold. What actually decides it is which distribution center supplies your particular store and what year the contract got rebid. So the honest version is this. Your CountyLine implement is probably a Tarter. It might be a King Kutter. Check the tag before you assume. Which brings us to King Kutter, and another thing that gets said wrong. King Kutter is not an Ohio company. Headquarters is Winfield, Alabama. Family owned since 1978. With a second plant up in Gallipolis, Ohio, they also own Taylor, Pittsburgh, which is where Taylor-Way rakes and discs come from. So King Kutter and Taylor-Way are the same house. they market made in America, and the welding and assembly genuinely is domestic. But from the very beginning, the gearboxes and drivelines came from overseas. There's a thread on Tractor by Net going back years where a buyer opened up a 60-inch King Kutter 2 tiller and found a Bondioli and Pavesi manual in the box, and a PTO shaft stamped made in Italy, and the Italian company's part came out of their plant in Hangzhou, China. Italian brand. Chinese casting. American weld. That's not a scandal. That's just how a 3-point implement gets built in 2026, and once you know it, you stop paying extra for a flag on a box. Now, the green one. John Deere doesn't build Frontier implements. Deere doesn't have a Frontier factory. Frontier is a value badge with 600+ implements under it, and every single one of them gets bid out to somebody else's plant. Who? Woods builds a lot of it. The rear blades, the box blades. There's a Frontier BB1048L box blade where the warranty section of the manual says Woods straight through. Maschio, the Italian outfit, builds Frontier tillers. Befco builds some. Bush Hog and the rest of the Alamo Group build some. Land Pride has built for the program historically, though that one's murkier today, and I'll say plainly I could not nail it down. So when somebody tells you the green Kutter is really a Woods, that's true for some models and flat wrong for others. Don't buy on the rule, buy on the model. And what does the green paint cost? One owner priced a Frontier grooming mower he already knew was a Woods build, then priced the identical Woods branded unit. The Woods was about $400 more. Read that again. On that machine, the rebadge was the cheap one, and the original was the premium. That's the opposite of how everybody assumes this works. And it's why I keep telling you to check both directions instead of just hunting for the off-brand. Same story in orange. Kubota, doesn't build most of its own implements either. In May of 2016, Kubota agreed to buy Great Plains Manufacturing out of Salina, Kansas, for about $430 million. Great Plains owns Land Pride. So Land Pride is effectively Kubota's implement shop now, and a Kubota badge 3-point is very often a Land Pride in orange. A few of them, like some of the rakes, actually come from Kverna Land, which Kubota's owned since 2012. Red does it too. Mahindra's rotary cutters are built by Kodiak, an American manufacturer, and multiple dealers will tell you that straight out if you ask. And Bush Hog isn't independent either, which surprises people, because Bush Hog is the name that got used as the word. They invented the rotary cutter in 1951, and people have called every cutter since a Bush Hog, whether or not it was one. In October of 2009, the Alamo Group bought them. Not for cash, for about 1.7 million shares of Alamo stock. Roughly 14.5% of the company, somewhere around $23 million at the time. The plant stayed in Selma, Alabama, but Alamo also owns Rhino, Service, Schulte, M&W, and a stack of others, and their own filings describe consolidating Service Rhino manufacturing into Bush Hog's operations, which means shared tooling across nameplates isn't a rumor in that house. It's in the paperwork they file with the government. And if that's got your blood up, the tractor version of this is worse. There's a 2-part video on this channel called The Tractor Brands That Are Secretly the Same Machine. Same badge game, 4 times the money. Now Titan, and you need to be careful here, because there are 2 of them and they have nothing to do with each other. Titan Attachments, the one you find on the internet, palletforks.com, is an importer. Chinese-sourced, direct to your driveway, no dealer behind it. Titan Implement was a different company entirely. Athens, Tennessee, actual American assembly with a mix of American and imported parts, sold through dealers. And in July of 2022, they changed their name. Titan Implement is now IronCraft. Same outfit, new badge, and they changed it specifically so people would quit confusing them with the import catalog. So if a man tells you he's got a Titan, that sentence contains no information. Ask which one. All right, the part that actually matters more than any of the paint, the gearbox. On a rotary cutter, the gearbox is the whole machine. Deck steel you can patch. Blades you replace for $40. A gearbox that grenades is usually the end of the implement, because a replacement runs $200 and up, and the labor makes you wonder why you didn't just buy the better one. Here's who actually makes them. Omni Gear American is the standard everybody else copies. Their RC51 is rated 24 to 40 horsepower, and you'll see Chinese boxes advertised literally as Omni style, which tells you exactly who's copying whom. Comber Industries, Italian, over €1 billion a year, does the heavier drivelines. Bondioli Pavesi, also Italian, with an American operation in Ashland, Virginia, Weasler, American, on the drivelines. And then there's the fourth category, unmarked. No logo cast in the housing. No horsepower rating on the tag. No manufacturer anywhere on the paperwork. That's the one to walk away from, and it shows up on budget cutters wearing every color in this video. So when you're standing there on the lot, here's the whole test, and it takes about 90 seconds. 1. Get down and look at the gearbox housing. There should be a manufacturer's mark cast into the iron and a horsepower number on the tag. If you can find Omni, Comer, or Bondioli Pavesi cast in there, that's a real component with a real rating behind it. Blank iron means nobody's willing to put their name on it. 2. Compare the gearbox horsepower to your tractor. A 5-foot budget cutter typically ships with a 45 horsepower gearbox. If you're running a 40 horsepower tractor, you've got 5 horsepower of headroom, and you're going to live at the top of that box's rating every time you hit heavy stuff. A heavy-duty 7-footer, by contrast, specs 150 to 190 horse gearbox. That gap is the entire difference in service life. 3. Look at the driveline. Shear bolt or slip clutch. Shear bolt is the budget default. CountyLine's 5-foot cutter ships with a shielded shaft and a shear pin. A slip clutch costs the manufacturer real money, and when you find one, it's telling you they spent money everywhere else too. 4. Weight. This is the one nobody uses, and it's the most honest number on the sheet. 2 5-foot cutters. Same dimensions, same job. One weighs 385 pounds, and one weighs 530. There is only one thing that difference can be, and it's steel. Weight per foot is the closest thing to an X-ray you get standing in a parking lot. And here's the tell inside the tell. Land Pride publishes a spec sheet with exact weights, deck gauge, blade thickness, and a 3-year gearbox warranty. Woods publishes. Bush Hog publishes. Tarter, King Cutter, CountyLine, and Titan Attachments very often don't publish deck gauge or weight at all on the consumer page. That silence is data. When a company won't print what the thing weighs, it's because the number doesn't help them. So here's where I land. Buy a Tarter-built CountyLine if you check the tag and confirm it. It's real steel out of a real Kentucky plant, and depending on which side of the sticker the discount landed that year, it may be the best value in this entire video. Just price the Tarter branded version too, because sometimes the dealer's cheaper than Tractor Supply, and everybody assumes it can't be. Buy a Frontier where you've confirmed the OEM is Woods and the green price is under the Woods price. You get the same implement, plus a John Deere parts counter that stocks everything, and an app that tells you the part number. That parts pipeline is worth real money 3 years in. Caution: King Cutter and the light-duty end of everything. It's not junk. It's a legitimately cheaper build with imported gears and lighter steel, and for a man mowing a half-acre lot line twice a summer, it will outlive his interest in the hobby. It's a bad buy for pasture and brush. It's a fine buy for trim work, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Walk away. Any implement where the gearbox housing is blank, the weight isn't published, and the price is within $100 of a named gearbox unit. You're paying premium money for anonymous castings, and there's no version of that trade that works out. And one thing I promised I'd come back to. Platinum Equity, the private equity firm that bought Tarter in 2023. They also own Oregon Tool, which used to be called Blount International. And Blount bought Woods equipment back in 2011 for about $185 million. So Tarter and Woods, the Kentucky budget brand and the Illinois premium brand, the two ends of this entire aisle, answer to the same owner. You're not choosing between companies. You're choosing between build specs. Once you see it that way, the paint stops mattering and the gearbox tag starts. More buyer's guides like this every week. the loader attachment version of this, who really builds the grapples and quick attach buckets, is already in production. Subscribe so it finds you. And if this saved you money, go watch the tractor brands that are secretly the same machine. It's the same game played at 4 times the price, and it's on screen right now. See you in that one.